Day 4 of my ultimate detox cleanse week. And today we are drinking up because America is in the midst of a brand new juicing craze. And I've got the man who some say started it all. 2 years ago, Joe Cross was, in his own words, fat, sick, and nearly dead. To save his life, he did something radical. He hit the road with a juicer in tow, drinking only fresh juice for 60 days. That decision transformed his health. And today, he's sharing his specially created detox juice cleanse that will transform your health in just one weekend. Meet Joe Cross. At 310 pounds, Australian businessman Joe Cross was at a crossroads. Already on a powerful medication for a debilitating autoimmune disease, he was sick, depressed, and at just 41 years old, on the road to an early death.
Take a good, hard look at my gut. How many pizzas, burgers, fries, and Cokes do you reckon I inhaled to create that masterpiece?
Joe plunged headfirst into making a change. He embarked on a 60-day journey across America, vowing to drink only juice.
That looks good, doesn't it?
The whole time.
It's not bad, is it?
No.
And he captured it all in a documentary, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, that has inspired millions.
I put myself there by having a lot of junk food, eating a lot of crap, not eating vegetables, not eating fruits.
And he realized his juice cleanse could heal America's obesity crisis.
I sleep really well. I lost 8 pounds.
I'm down 15 pounds.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Months later, juice after juice, Joe is now 80 pounds lighter. Please welcome Joe Cross, whose film has touched millions of hearts, including mine. So let's recap. How much weight did you actually finally lose?
In the whole journey, Dr. Oz, I dropped over 100 pounds. Now, that was over 5 months.
So the part that I found most compelling was it really wasn't about weight loss. It was about getting rid of a disease that you had.
Yeah, I had a chronic autoimmune disease called urticaria. You know about this, chronic urticaria angioedema. It's like your whole body lights up like a Christmas tree. I was allergic to touch, Dr. Oz, and that's a terrible way to live your life. And I had that for 8 years, and I was taking high doses of steroids. High doses, like 60 milligrams in the beginning, and I kind of got it down to about 15, 20 milligrams after 8 years. But every morning and every day, I was reminded that I was sick. But the great news is, 5 months after doing that, I was off all meds, and that's 5 years ago.
So it's absolutely spectacular. So that's it. It's the story that we keep hearing all the time. Folks who are on medications, especially, these fairly, broad shotgun approach medications like steroids. So I'd love to get into this a little bit. You don't seem like the juicing type to me. How'd you even get started?
Yeah, well, Dr. Oz, I think that, when you're sick and when you're fat, you kind of know it. You don't need anyone to tell you. You're reminded every day by looking in the mirror. You get out of the shower in the morning and and I was getting sick and tired of people asking when the twins were due too, so that was a bit of a problem. But, when I turned 40, I've got a saying that we spend the first 40 years of our life trying to kill ourselves and the next 40 trying to stay alive. And I was the poster boy for that.
Yes,
right?
Well stated.
So when I hit 40, that 4 being in front of my numbers, 3 is kind of young, but the 4, I went, oh. And I looked in the mirror and I had a really good, hard, honest look at myself, and I didn't recognise the man looking back. And I knew the athlete, the football player, the guy who was lean and mean on the surfboard down in Australia, and I just said, who put me in a time machine and sent me here? Yeah. So I just said, what have we're the most successful species on this planet, and we've lived mostly on plant food. I have turned my back on Mother Nature. I need to run towards her and see if she will embrace me.
And she did embrace you. And so many of us aren't making that jog right now.
No, it's hard. I don't think telling people what to do works, Dr. Oz. I think it's all about actually you've got to see people doing stuff, and shows like what you're doing and illustrating and showing people who change. That inspires people, that educates people, and above all, it entertains, because it has to be fun. If you're going to make significant changes in your life, it's got to be fun.
So you must have tried other diets before. And why did the juicing work when the regular old-fashioned diets did not?
I actually think because it was quite simple, believe it or not. It might sound hard to the audience, but it was simple because I knew what I had to do. I had to get up and just go and find a whole bunch of plants, all across America. I had my truck, I had my juicer in the back, right. And I would find places, but I would get out there and I would go out and get all sorts of plant food. And because I was putting that into the system and I was actually just drinking that, my body was being nourished. My cells were getting the nutrients they needed. So when you start to feel well, once again, it's easier.
So what is so special about juicing? Why can't you just eat the fruits and vegetables? And I've got a bunch of them here.
Sure.
I mean, I look at this and I think to myself, you know, and on the show we have done this. We've said, eat this.
Yeah.
Don't bother futzing with it.
Yeah, well, the problem is, Dr. Rose, people aren't eating it, are they? They're not eating it. So let's make it fun. Let's get the rapid absorption. Because what essentially we've got here, this is actually the ingredients that have made up this juice. Now, there's a lot of produce there for you to eat. I don't know about you. I'm a big eater. But to eat all of that would be quite hard for me in the morning. Yet I can take that and I can drink all of what I call the harnessed energy, the captured sunlight, the magic that's gone into this cucumber, into this celery, into this apple, and we're just getting rapid absorption straight into our system.